All right, everyone. Welcome to today's class, which is going to be how to become a pro Rocket League player. Let's hop into it. So, we're going to be going over a lot of things today. Got a lot of different avenues I want to take this, but we're going to start off with a good intro. Talk about dedication to your craft and the sort of mentality that you're going to need if you want to take becoming a pro in this game seriously. Uh, and then we're going to get into the avenues in game. So when you're playing the game, what you should be doing to achieve at least getting looked at in terms of becoming a pro player. And then we'll talk about the things outside of the game. So social medias like your Twitter and your Discord, six mans, which is half in game, half out, but that's another avenue you can go down. And then finally, we'll talk about how to sign up for tournaments and sort of get yourself into the tournament atmosphere and the bubble player atmosphere. So let's get into it. Okay, being a pro Rocket League player, what is quote unquote being a pro? There are very few people in the world that can call themselves a pro Rocket League player. The term I like to use is if you've made a regional. If you've made an RLCS regional, if you've been a top 16 in your region kind of player, I consider that being a pro. Some people consider it making a living off of the game. So, going full time in a pro game. There's a lot of different definitions, but being a pro is being at the top 1% of the top 1%. That's why my second bullet point is a thing called the numbers game. It's a harsh reality, unfortunately, but not a lot of people will go pro in the game. I didn't go pro in the game that I've played, and I've played for over 7,000 hours. It's it takes a lot of dedication, it takes a lot of good play, and it takes good timing. But that doesn't mean that if you put your heart into it, it can happen. So let's keep going. So let's talk about that dedication. This was a screenshot taken from pro player NRG Garrett's profile on the right. And as you can see, this is a few months ago, so the number has probably gone up pretty significantly since then. But it says that Garrett's been playing for 13,500 hours. Am I saying that you need to be playing 13,000 hours to become a pro in the game? No. But it just kind of makes sense. If you want to get better at a game, you got to play it more. There's a philosopher that said you have to play, if you have to do something for 10,000 hours to become, become perfected at your craft. All I'm really saying is with this pro mentality and this pro dedication, it takes a lot of hours to get to where you want to be when it comes to getting better at Rocket League. There's also that in-game aspect and also the out-of-game aspect as well. My second bullet point here, out-of-game study. You guys can't just bash your head against the wall in rank twos and expect to rank up. You guys got to be doing things like watching your own replays. Have someone like me watch your replays. Make sure you're watching other people outside of the game play the game. Like watch pro players streams. That's a really good way to learn some things that you might not know of. All of these things, what they do is they allow you to get a different perspective on the game than just playing it. And I know that sounds weird, but when you get those different perspectives and when you look at the game from an outside perspective, it gives you different avenues to work on your game. I talk about it a lot, but when you watch your own game, sometimes you're kind of just blind to things that you're doing wrong. Sometimes you need to watch it from a different perspective, have someone different watch it, and maybe listen to how a pro player talks about how they think about the game. I know a lot of podcasts have come up recently of players just talking about the game, like the Chalk Cast or First Touch. Those are really good avenues so that you're able to be able to watch what's going on and listen to other pro players talk about the game. And then finally, I have the grind. You are not going to become a pro unless you have the grind mentality or, As a joke, people call it the grind set. But there are people to this day still putting in 100 plus, 120 plus hours every 2 weeks to becoming good at a game. Zen recently has become the best player in the world. He was playing, I think the number's over 4,000 or 5,000 games a season uh, to get to the point that he is now. If you want to become a pro, this is something that you have to take seriously. You can't just luck your way into becoming a pro. It takes real dedication and it takes a real grind mentality where it's not just going to happen overnight. You got to be okay with the setbacks and you got to be okay when situations go in your favor. That's just how it's going to be. Okay, any question on the dedication aspect of this slide? Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, this is something I took from my mentality class, but this is something I want to reiterate when talking about becoming a pro in that mentality. You have to have a very strong mental. People that don't have good mentals never make it far because they have the fixed mindset and it hurts their gameplay and it hurts the people around them playing with them. When you have a fixed mindset and you just think, oh, this is the situation I have, this is how it's going to go, you never look at the positives and you never look at the bright side of things. When you have that growth mindset where every situation is a chance to get better, every mistake is a chance to get better, that's when you're able to sort of level up your thinking to, yeah, this series might be really important, but I'll always have another chance to do something better. I'll always have that idea of, I want to keep getting better. That's what matters. Every pro player has lost really important series. There's not a single pro player that has gone undefeated in their lifetime. They always kept coming back and they always kept trying to get better. That's why they're pros. They have that kind of mentality where it's just another series to them. You also want to have, I put climbing up the ladder as the sort of phrase you could use for that mindset, but when you get better, breaking into that next level gets harder and harder and harder. You will notice when you get up to the higher ranks like SSL and close to top 100, the difference between you and someone better than you could be 100 hours. It could be 1,000 hours. It is really, really tough at those higher levels to think of yourself as climbing up that ladder because you get so plateaued. But you are always making progress. It's that thing called the law of accumulation. Everything you do will amount to something. You just got to keep going with it. Second part I have is mental practices. These are things that you can do that I recommend from my own experience with coaching and playing that will help you get better mentally at being more confident. First thing is visualization. This is something that I've toyed with, but I got this from professional athletes. What visualization is in your head thinking of situations where things go right. A very basic example is you were shooting an open net. Most people, when they shoot an open net, think, oh God, I'm going to miss this. And then visualize themselves missing the open net. If you switch that mentality from missing the open net to I'm going to hit this, and you visualize just the ball going into the net, you get this idea from your brain of a positive mindset, and it helps you in situations where you might not feel as confident. Visualizing yourself doing it makes it not seem as hard. It could be as simple as hitting a shot in a game, or it could be you winning a tournament, you winning RLCS, thinking about how the trophy looks, thinking about how the stadium looks. If you have these big aspirations, think about visualizing this success and it will help you in terms of your mentality. Second thing I have is consuming media of confidence. I talked in the last slide about that out of game study. It can help not just with your game, but with your mentality. When you listen to pros talk about how they play the game, you'll notice that they're super motivated. And for me, it might not be for you guys, but When I listen to pros talk about how motivated they are and how much they want to play the game, that gets me fired up. I really love listening to people who are so passionate about this game talk about how much they love this game. If you want to watch pros, the thing I have in the right side of the screen, this is a Kobe Bryant quote. We all have self doubt. You don't deny it, but you also don't capitulate to it. You embrace it. It could be as simple as watching a Kobe Bryant motivational video. I've heard that AJ, before tournaments, to get confident, will just watch Kobe Bryant motivational videos. If that's what gets you into that mentality, go for it. It's really all just about finding what works for you and using that so that you increase your confidence. Because even in this quote, it says we all have self doubt. I guarantee you, even pros doubt how good they are at the game, but they always find a way to lock into the level that they need to so that they can perform at the highest level. Any questions about mentality? Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, first off, let's talk about, let's say, all right, I'm going to become a pro. How do I do this in game? First thing is free play. All pros do is free play. If you watch a pro stream, you will see them in free play. What free play is it gives you a completely open sandbox to try whatever you want. And it's something you can do for a long time. A thing I know people will do is they will just throw a YouTube video on, they will throw a movie on, and just play free play. It's a really good way to get your reps in different situations by just hitting the ball around the field as fast as you can and following it, or air dribbling the ball from every spot possible and creating different situations. I've done classes kind of to bring it into more specific terms just to make it, I can't go one size fits all for this class, but free play is a really great way to just practice your skills in Rocket League. A real example of this is Squishy Muffins. Before he became a pro in Canada, his internet sucked. So all he would do is go into free play and play free play for hours on end. And you can see where that got him. If you want to find more specific situations, you can use workshop maps and custom training. Workshop maps are for things like dribbling and aerial control, where they give you not just a field, they give you a custom map where you can go around and do different custom maps on air dribble, like a rings map, or dribbling, like Lethamir has a lot of good dribbling maps. Those are ways to stretch your mechanics to a point where if you can dribble a ball uphill while jumping over hurdles, you'll be able to dribble a ball down the field a lot easier. It's like training weights. Then we have custom training. I love custom training because it gives you a consistent scenario over and over and over again. My favorite packs are things like shooting consistency, where you are always going over shots over and over, and you get to practice in certain situations just hitting a corner. I'm going to shoot this top left. I'm going to shoot this top right. If you want to work on things like flip resets or air dribbles, find a flip reset pack. That's how I learned how to flip reset, is I found a flip reset pack and would just practice trying to go for a flip reset over and over and over again. Sometimes free play is too open and we want to narrow our view down to just a certain mechanic or a certain part of the game. Okay, now let's talk about the ranked ladder of Rocket League. Ranked, especially if you're from North America, is treated very weird. The competitive game mode is ranked 3v3. As you can see, I have the top 100 scoreboard from 3v3, put it here, and I'm there, not to flex. But no one in North America really cares about ranked 3v3. The ways to actually get noticed in the pro scene is by getting high up in 2v2 and 1v1. If you were going to ask me what you should do to go pro, the one thing you should do I would say get number one in ranked 1v1 in the world. If you can do that, you will instantly become a pro. Finding in twos and ones, getting to those high level lobbies, a lot of pros are discovered just because they're beating high level pros in ranked twos and ranked ones lobbies over and over again. Drees, when he was on G2, this is an older example, but I guess now you can think about like Daniel. They were really high up in the leaderboard in twos and ones, and pro players just kept running into them and kept losing. And so it became this kind of aura around this person of, oh my God, this person's amazing at twos or amazing at ones. I got to try him out for a team. So if you're going to play ranked, you should play threes till you hit about GC1 or GC2, and then you should start playing twos and ones. But I just want to say this, but playing ranked will only get you so far in terms of trying to find a team. What are the other things you have to do? Well, the first thing you want to do is make a Twitter, or now it's called an X, but I won't call it that. It's Twitter. This is the main social media of all Rocket League pros. Just like how you have to make a LinkedIn to get a job, you have to make a Twitter and network with other people to become pros. On the right, I have two pictures. The one on the top right is a really good example of a Twitter profile and a Twitter bio that you can create to, engage yourself with the pro scene. We have Skippy here. Very short, very simple. Put his age, what his rank is, and then his peaks in terms of ones and twos. As I said, ones and twos matters a lot. And then he has a 6-man's rank, which we'll get into in a little bit. I know it has changed. This is an old. I will make sure to update your picture. But with this bio, I really like it because it's short and to the point. Don't make people have to read a paragraph to figure out who you are as a player. Just put, if you want to, put your age and then put your ranks, how good you are in ones, twos, and threes, and then, throw down your 6-man's rank if you'd like to. The second tweet I have on the bottom is Zapatos. He put out an LFT tweet. Here he has two categories. He has the achievements he's made in the competitive 3v3 scene, which is hitting rank A in 6-mans and getting top 28 in RLCS. And then he has his ones achievements. Zapatos is really known in the one scene because of his ones prowess. And it's really good if you have those things that you can stand out from to mention those in your LFT tweets. LFT tweets basically mean I'm looking for a team. So you put LFT, your achievements, and then you want to put at the bottom, likes and retweets are appreciated so that people looking on Twitter can retweet it so your tweet goes out to more people. To actually figure out who's LFT and just figuring out the scene in general, you want to follow a lot of pro and bubble players. RL Skippy1 is a great follow. Alex Zapatos is a great follow. Sky Carball is a great follow. If you go to Twitter and go to pro player and who they're following, that'll give you a really good list of people that you should be following in the Rocket League scene. Any questions at all about creating an RL Twitter? Anything like that? Okay. Oh yeah, what's up? Yeah. Um yes, social media does not care about grammar. Just list stuff. Yeah. Yeah, don't worry about being like too, you know, don't worry about being too official. Just list stuff. People, you know, it's just how Rocket League players' brains work. We have the attention span of a goldfish, so just put the important stuff. Yeah, of course. Any other questions? Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, next up, let's talk about six mans. Six mans used to be a lot more important. A lot more important. Now, I used to say get rank X in six mans and you become a pro. You can still do that, but I feel like ranked 1v1 is just the best way to get noticed nowadays. What you can do, however, in six mans is you can hit B plus. When let me first explain what six mans is. Six mans is a Discord that is created so that people can play 3v3 against each other with voice channels. It goes from rank F, I think, rank F or rank G, H to rank S, and it spans most Rocket League ranks from like Diamond and Plat to pros. All you got to do is look up six mans on Google and you will find a website that will take you to this Discord. What you want to do, and this is the way I like to explain it, is you want to hit rank check into B. Rank check into B is about 1700 to 1750 normally, and that's about GC2 to GC3 in terms of Rocket League rank in ranked 3v3. After you hit that in ranked 3v3, stop playing 3v3 and start playing six mans and play a lot of queues in rank B to try hitting rank B plus. The difference between being B and being B plus, it has gone down over time, but there is still merit in hitting B plus as a six man's rank because people still care about that. People still put it in their Twitter bios. It matters because when you put an LFT tweet out, the difference between saying I'm rank B to I'm rank B plus, you will get more people reaching out to you if you are B plus. That's just how it works these days. How to play six mans? Again, as I said, go to I think it's rl6mans.com and you will find the link to everything that you need for that. Any questions on playing six mans? Okay, let's keep it going. Okay, final section. This is for people that have found a team and want to start playing in tournaments. The first thing, pretty obvious, is RLCS. I don't know if you guys have heard about that, but it is the big league that Psyonix sponsors or Epic sponsors their tournaments, and this is the way that you become a pro. The format has changed recently so that it is now easier than ever to get higher up in the tournaments because of how open of a format it is. All you need to do, and I'll explain it when I get into the weekly section, is to go to start.gg and you'll find things there. Weeklies. We have 1v1 and 3v3 weeklies. On the right, I have a screenshot of a tweet from a Twitter account posting about their weekly, or I think this was a monthly tournament that they do. Where do you find these? So in this section, I put a link here. All I did is I went to Start GG, and then I hit search, and then I scrolled down to this game section, and I hit Rocket League. This is how you find tournaments on Start GG. All you go is you go to the tournament section, and once this loads, finally, you will see, first off, all of the RLCS qualifiers that you can apply for. And then there are other tournaments. Some of them are locals, so make sure that you check to make sure this is online and not a location. But you will find through all of these tabs different types of RLCS or Rocket League tournaments. So if you are looking for tournaments on StartGG, go there. But there is also tournaments on Twitter, like the Stride Esports account does a lot of tournaments. And there are other bubble tournament accounts that you could find. Like Tactical Bandits hasn't done them recently, but there are people like them that also run weekly tournaments. And then finally, if you are in a high school or college, figure out if your school has an esports team. And if they do, sign yourself up for every high school league you can find or college league you can find. Scholastic esports is a huge thing. And if you have a high school team and you can sign up for a tournament and you do well in that tournament, you can get noticed by college scouts or college coaches. It's a really good way to get into an organized environment by finding your high school or college team, or even middle school if you were in a middle school. It's just up to whatever school level you're at, figure out if there is a way that you can play in tournaments. Tournament atmosphere is the best way to get real competitive experience. You can play in ranked all you want, but the real competitive experience and the place where you can really keep your mental going is in these tournaments. Okay, any questions on the tournament scene? Okay, and with that, I am all good. Are there any questions before we head out for today? Yo, what's up? Is there? To go to home. Oh, platinum or higher. So make sure you're platinum or higher. But for most people interested in this class, I'd hope you are. So, so yeah. Thank you for noticing that. I didn't realize. Yeah, I couldn't tell you honestly. Any questions or anything before we head out? What's up? Let me hear it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you have a friend and you played twos together? Uh, yeah. If you have a friend and you play twos together, that's fine. If you feel like if you feel like he's maybe holding you back or something, you can obviously just play like 3v3 and rank up in that game mode too. That's fine as well. But playing with a friend kind of keeps you motivated to keep going. So I'm honestly like, if you feel like you and your friend are ranking up a ton, I would 100% just keep doing that. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, if you can keep ranking up, I would keep going for it. 100%. Yeah, what's up? Mhm. Mhm. In gold? Wow. Wow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately that's just kind of you got to plug away at it. It's kind of my mentality and dedication section where I talked about like you're not going to just get there every time. It takes a lot of games. So there could be times where you might need to just keep playing. It'll eventually happen. It's kind of just something that over time you'll notice things that are happening and it'll help you out in terms of that. I'm sorry I can't give you a greater answer than that, but that's what I would say. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Really good way to say that. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I will say yes, PC is much better than console, but if you don't have the money for it, don't do that. Oh, then yeah, if you are like serious about, I think a PC is a great investment if you're a big gamer. So I would say for sure. Yeah, of course. All right. Any other questions before we head out? All right then. Thank you, everyone.